Following Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's explosive interview with Oprah Winfrey.
There's a conversation with you?
With Harry.
About how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
Ooh. And you're not going to tell me who had the conversation?
I think that would be very damaging to them.
On Tuesday, Buckingham Palace released a statement on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen. Nearly 2 days after Meghan and Harry addressed everything from feeling trapped to personal struggles with mental health and allegations of racism within the institution.
You certainly must have had some conversations with Harry about it and have your own suspicions as to why they didn't want to make Archie a prince. What are those thoughts? Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because of his race?
The statement explained that the family is saddened to learn how challenging the last few years have been for Meghan and Harry, adding that the issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning.
The talk at the palace is that they are absolutely horrified by what has been said. They feel that Harry has literally thrown the family under a bus.
Quote, while some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much-loved family members. During the interview, Meghan claimed there were concerns and conversations about how dark their son Archie's skin might be when he was born.
In those months when I was pregnant, all around this same time, so we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
Harry later confirmed to Oprah that a conversation about Archie's skin color did take place, but he wasn't comfortable sharing more details.
That conversation I'm never going to share. But at the time it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
Can you tell us what the question was?
No, I'm not comfortable sharing that.
On Monday, during a chat with CBS This Morning, Oprah revealed that Harry had told her that those remarks were not made by his grandmother, the Queen, or his grandfather, Prince Philip.
The problem with all of this speculation and names being bandied around is that it does cause a huge amount of damage. Suggestions that it might be the Prince of Wales and that is why he and Harry have fallen out, and Harry has said he feels let down by his father, are very damaging to the Prince of Wales's reputation, and ditto Prince William.
ET spoke with royal expert Katie Nicholl on Tuesday, and she opened up about how the palace was responding to the backlash.
While they were braced for something explosive, they totally underestimated just how far Harry and Meghan would go. They took everyone by surprise.
Katie told ET that the royal family was taking the couple's allegations seriously and that they would have no choice but to respond.
There is clearly a lot of pressure on the royal family to break their silence. The age-old mantra, which has kept the Queen in good stead all of these years, has been never complain, never explain. But I think such is the severity of these allegations, the reverberations of which are being felt not just here in Britain and across the pond in the States, but around the world, are so serious that there really is a lot of pressure for a statement to be released from Buckingham Palace with some sort of an explanation.
Is the new era, the fact that someone had to leave the palace, and we don't know any of this is true, obviously, but because of gross misconduct?
Well, not according to the people I've spoken to. In the sense that I did a massive piece last week about all these bullying allegations, and the suggestion that one of the people that accused the couple of bullying, specifically Meghan, had left for gross misconduct was denied to me completely, and that person was considering suing against that claim, which I think was repeated by Omid Scobie in a piece for Vanity Fair or Harper's Bazaar. So it's quite hard to drill into the detail of this, Phil. One person says one thing, somebody else says the complete opposite.
And yeah, I mean, this is damaging tit for tat, isn't it?
Well, so damaging. And also at the end of it, I find it a bit hypocritical, frankly, people coming on and talking about, being kind to Meghan when there are other people in this piece who have felt really, really hard done by. As I keep on stressing, there are always two sides to every story. There are some other people involved in this who have been, frankly, too scared to speak out, who give a completely different account of the couple's time at the palace. Okay, as a journalist, we can't ignore that, just as we can't ignore this 2-hour Oprah outpouring. So at the moment, we're all trying to weigh it all up and work out the truth, and we'll continue to do that. But I think what's important here is we don't have either side dominating the narrative and calling it as gospel when the Queen's own statement says, and it was choice words, wasn't it? Just reading it here in the front of the Telegraph, recollections may differ. I think that probably sums it up right now.
Well, Giles, I mean, the statement from the palace, from the Queen last night that came out, only 61 words, and I imagine they pored over that, trying to think of the right thing to say. And I just wondered what you thought of it.
Well, the Queen is going to be 95 next month. Bless her, having to cope with this at that age. I've descended into my basement book bunker. I'm wearing my flak jacket instead of a jumper because shots are coming from all sides and you're ducking and you're weaving. And the truth is, recollections do vary. For example, Meghan muddled up about being married privately 3 days before her public wedding. Well, the Archbishop of Canterbury remembers that, that blessing a little bit differently. People do have different recollections, and everybody now is climbing on board. You had Janina just now with her little throwing her bomb into the story. We've had Beyonce, President Biden, Hillary Clinton on one side. On the other side, we've had Thomas, Meghan's dad, throwing in his 2 cents worth, and Wendell Pierce, who I think was Meghan's dad in Suits, played it for several years, also thinking it was a bad idea. So everyone wants to have their say, and once you've opened this can of worms, this is what's going to happen.
Well, Camilla, I was going to ask that actually, because in the statement it says that the family will deal with it privately. Can they deal with it privately when it's being discussed so publicly?
They want to deal with it privately, understandably, because it's a family. The pain that we saw clearly on Monday night here, Sunday night in America, anyone who is sensitive will have felt it. You can't have somebody saying that they've been having suicidal thoughts. You can't see Harry looking as distressed as he was looking at times without feeling real sympathy. But it's a family story. They have chosen to bring it into the public domain, and that is the challenge. But from the point of view of the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, nobody on the planet has visited more countries around the world and met a more diverse range of people than that couple. And their record, their lifetime, as it were, tells their story. That is their truth. And I think what they would like now is the problems within the family to be discussed within the family.
Well, the trouble is, of course, that they're being discussed in front of millions and millions and millions of people on